Which is that Imperial. So coffee and charcoal on acrylic. Oh no, sorry, coffee and charcoal on paper. So basically this work I did in 2013 in my study with school. So I was looking at gender politics as in women abuse. So the reason why I use coffee is because coffee is a kitchen thing, and most probably women are seen as the kitchen thing. So I don't want to go into deep with it for it's a long story about it. So we're going to move here with artwork by Temba Shabalala, a good friend of mine. He titled The Greedy God. So this artwork, I assume Temba was trying to talk about how women are seen in society. And the red, what do you call this?
Calabash.
The red calabash kind of represents a female in it all. So as you can see, those four males, they're all interested in that thing. So it brings also a question we would see is this how we see girls as in our own societies, or how they were seen in the other societies that were never on? And we move here to this artwork by Temba again. So this artwork is titled The Inner Reflection, right? So it's an expressionism artwork that is worked more with color. Like myself, when I look at it, it provokes this other feeling that I cannot actually explain, but it's a good bad feeling for. I don't know how to go into deep with it because the artist never had a talk with me, but from my own understanding, it's just an inner reflection of finding yourself, who you are, self-love. By that I mean self-awareness, as in a person are you really suiting where you at, or you kind of have to shift. So it has to do with your surroundings. And then we move here by artwork by Zinke. Well, beautiful. Nothing much to say. It's it's acrylic on canvas. So yeah, and this last artwork here, it's the same. It's in the same series with that coffee one as well. So yeah, that's more like it. So we're going to move downstairs. Timber's going to lead us down.
Okay. Hello. Hello. Yeah. So I don't know whether you were paying attention as you coming from the stairs. There are these beautiful artworks that you see, paintings. I don't know, do you know this artist called Boca?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's more like a spontaneous realism when artists mix different colors and also trying to depict reality as it is. But at the same time, the colors are actually questionable, but they actually communicate the state of emotions. So I don't know, are they willing to come down?
No.
They are not.
Yeah, they're coming.
Oh, they are coming. Okay. So right here we're just having an artwork. It's more like you're having multi-images in one image. Because as you see, the artist has created sort of like blocks, understand? That can also communicate different thoughts or different people in one space, understand? Yeah. And this is blessed work, as in he made it so clear that his work is based on gender politics as what makes a woman a woman. Because you can see that her face has been masculinized. She's a woman and she's a male at the same time. So it was quite amazing how he.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, it's more like ladies and gentlemen. Yeah. So this is Misang's work. He was using acrylic and also charcoal. So what he's trying to communicate in his work, because he used an object that we commonly see, as my brother is using, which is a camera. Because we know that ideologically, a camera doesn't capture an illusion, but it captures reality as it is. So I think him depicting this old woman, it's more like for us to know the reality, we need to also come to the old people, as the saying goes, in yeah. I don't know whether there's a translation of that in English. Yeah, maybe the part it's been quite for those who are good. Yeah, this is also blessed. His work. Yeah, as you can see, the way he executed the image, it's more like he was trying to create a fusion between, sort of like a dialogue between. So there's like a communication, and as you can see, those eyes are looking straight to you. At the same time, it makes you a victim and a victimized at the same time. Yeah, because we are living in a society whereby we see wrong things that are going on, and if we don't address those wrong things, we are more like those who are partaking in the crime. We are more like perpetrators.
Just to add on to some as well. I think the object that he used, the camera, essentially depicting the memories actually.
Sure,
Like
staging.
Yeah, actually like taking pictures of the things that are happening, actually storing those images.
Yeah.
So that in the
generation. Yeah. And actually it was genius of more like the narration of the past is being passed from one generation to another. And people who are very responsible of it are actually old people. So actually there's humor in it that an old woman carrying a camera. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, telling Ingane
Did I just say that's my favorite?
Wow.
It's like two extremes, like new is it like the camera, and old is like the song.
Sure, there is.
And then they're cohesive.
No, it's not a spontaneous decision. We need to think critically.
That's a piece of what
Yeah, it's more like
Making the
a
space
book, a space. She's a writer. Sometimes you start from conclusion to the introduction. One ways of telling a story. So it's more like a narration. So when we set up the work, there must be like that fusion. But sometimes there are flashbacks where we take you from back and forth. So that it gets interesting. Yeah.
So the color is from upstairs.
Yeah, it starts there.
But it starts everywhere. It starts where you start.
It's
I don't know if you understand.
No, it's like
That's
point, like
too
chapter
philosophic.
10.
Don't be too philosophic.
It's okay.
Yeah, it starts where you understand. You feel I'm clubbing and you got people here, but that was your start.
That was your beginning.
Yeah.
That was your beginning. That was your genesis. But everything that we told you that. So.
I'm a bit.
Yeah. Gender politics. This might also reveal the society. How is it? Because you know that the backbone of a woman is what? The nation, it's a backbone for a woman. Understand? So
A woman is the backbone of the nation.
exactly something like that. So her being upside down, it tells you how our society is in the state. You understand?
Okay.
So it's actually upside down. Probably breastfeeding or feeding something.
Yeah. Growth.
So this growth is also detrimental because she's not in a proper position.
Okay.
Yeah. So Aluba.
You guys are.
Yeah. So how the society is in the sense.
Okay.
So that's why you get such things.
So obviously she can't breastfeed upside down.
I feel
Not
like
that she can't.
So
We can
why?
try
It's just the idea which this is abnormal.
So what exactly is abnormal?
Standing straight.
So I'm saying if you translate it in society,
It's
then
trying to say the society is upside down. So what they are fitting us is not something that is actually significantly helpful for you?
I think it was a thing of men are superior to women kind of thing.
Does it have to only do with gender, as she says?
It goes,
The picture is gender.
goes beyond
Beyond.
that. Yeah.
Okay,
You shouldn't be satisfied by my interpretation. That's why when as a viewer you need to engage with the word. When I'm just giving you the preface or the surface. So it's to you to go deeper, depending how rooted you are in his interpretation and how you
can actually fix this. So it's an ongoing problem because as one moves less, it goes fairly large. As one
it's continuous.
It's continuous, and that's why it's eventually going to pop. Yeah, that's why it's just going to break the
family
person.
passes on to
It's generational.
and yeah. You gotta
So, Mister.
So sorry, wait.
Wow. Maybe the ladies. Out of 10 was near like.
Yeah, let's say it's open to interpretation.
I don't know.
I guess like you've covered everything. You know when people they wanna say something, yeah, and you say things that are more smarter than what they thought. So they like,
No, you should tell us whatever.
no, yeah, I think
yeah.
you're at a level when it comes to filming and media and all stuff like that. So the title of this work is Moral Regeneration.
Okay.
As you can see, the face is degrading just because of the negative side of filming and movies. So each description when kids are exposed to explicit things, they tend to affect them in the future in terms of the way they think and behave.
We're not as stupid as we look.
No, as you look, you girls, you look smart. It's the most important was everything that you learn is based on observation. And all the beliefs that we hold in everything starts when you understand.
Wow.
Okay, makes sense. Makes a lot of sense. But I still have a problem with that one.
What problem?
I don't imagine anything.
It's
Proportional.
I think
it
that's
has so
saying a
much
lot.
question. It has for me. It's like those. Yeah, maybe it's the fear of the unknown because I can't ever tell what the eye is saying in comparison to any emotion. They're like so dead. Like they're so dead. Immune to feeling. This kid looks immune to any type of feeling. I'm not saying you want to see anguish or worry, but it's like, what the hell are you thinking?
Sure.
What the hell are you?
You
can't. It's closed up. Like yeah.
Maybe some of us were like that.
I am.
Yeah.
That's why you question this.
You connect with the word.
Yeah.
That's what she is.
Oh shit.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Don't ruin it.
I love.
I can see the rock going up.
Only now. So yeah, and I love the texture of the monotype. They were using like this.
Okay.
Yeah. So and the flow, it doesn't give you the sense of the smooth flow. Yeah, but the.
Sure.
What inspired this? This is one I wanted to ask about.
No, I think we all cover.
Okay.
So you did this.
I did this one.
What inspired this? I just,
as for me, I'm regarded as a lazy individual. Because I always wake up very late. But I think my timing, I work all the night and I sleep around about 3 or 4. So when people are awake, I'm still asleep. So then I deal with it. This one just wants to sleep. So a rooster valley, it's one of these things that we have where I live. It's more like a metaphor of a timeline or sort of like a clock. When the rooster calls, like everyone needs to wake up by that time. So it's an idea that by this time everyone should be up. And what about if your time scale doesn't conform to what is normally, you understand?
conform to the norms.
To the norms of society. Yeah. But the rooster is not new. You understand? as they say, time is money. So
that why the one is facing the other?
Exactly. So I mean, I'm actually opposing the
Okay.
Yeah.
And I appreciate that, man. And also the passion that you bring in your work, bro. I don't know if you've noticed yourself, but I have noticed it, man. I just want to say that keep it up, man. And you appreciate it, man.
I was
the lazy bastard.
Yeah, when I saw his work, like
Well, I think now I should consider being shy in front of the crowd that I don't know, actually know how to talk about my work. Because I usually thought that my work could speak for itself, without me trying to explain the work. But being there is actually the work is telling the story of me. With me telling the story of it.
In the chicken thing, the first time I thought of the chicken, I thought of wow, in your house, when I realized that if the small one makes that sound at night, the big one will attack you.
Sure.
And power being inherited, the power being taken. Once the small one can defeat the bigger one, that's when it can start making the sound.
Alpha me kind of.
Yeah, it spoke to me about hierarchy.
Sure.
Beautiful stuff, bro.
And another one too.
Yeah, there's also. Because when I view it's more like working with patterns and identity itself. Because you come into the conclusion that what you wear actually tells us where you're from. Like your shoes tell us about your journey. Maybe, I don't know, maybe it's your, my interpretation is that because it's a background, you understand, the pattern is in the background, probably gives us an understanding of where you're from. And remember that what we are taught, they become like patterns in our subconscious, then we automatically live up to the beliefs that we've been taught where we come from. Automatically, like sometimes you're unconscious of such actions.
As you said about the journey and kind of thing, this is a carpet. So you usually step on it. So I was like, okay, so how about I try this thing? I want to see it's okay. I usually step on it. But what can it bring to me? How can I expose it into a paper or something? So I took this carpet and rub it in. So
yeah, I mean, like also the idea that, based in Johannesburg. I studied printmaking at APS. When it comes to the medium of my work, like the materials that I use to create my work, it's actually versatile. I use different, or I incorporate different mediums to create my work, and in that way it tends to expand my.
So my main question about your art is your biggest canvas, which is on the top, right? So you have so much reflections. Like the point of the art is the reflections upon the child, right? I would like you to tell me more about that.
Yeah, man. One of the reasons is that I choose to depict the childhood because I think that's the most significant part of growth. You understand? Because by then you don't actually read a book so that you can get how things are done. It's based on observation and also experimentation. You wanna experiment as you see. So I think being a childhood is a very critical stage because it tends to influence your future or your adulthood. There's a Zulu saying that says, and it simply means that we determine the shape of the tree in its tender stage. So I think for you being raised as a child. As you can see this work, I was speaking about filming, the negativity and the positivity of filming in our childhood. The negativity of it speaks about moral degeneration. If you are exposed to violence and explicit things, those things tend to be projected in your life as you grow up.
In your adulthood.
In your adulthood. Because now they are registered in your subconscious, then you tend to expose them unconsciously so they become like patterns. So that's where I'm trying to bring about the idea of a paradigm shift, that when you grow up you need to deal with certain things that are not even healthy for you as an elderly person. So in that way you need to reprogram your mind. Because
basically it's that what worked for you as a child doesn't really work for you as an adult.
Exactly, depending on what you were exposed to. Because if you were told that the only thing that is proper for you when you grow up, like go to school, find a better job, or if your mother was a domestic worker, she would advise you based on the domesticated ideas in that you understand. So your subconscious, even though she doesn't tell you, but just because you were exposed to, or that's all that you ever see, going to work, mass, million. So it's registered in your subconscious as if it's something that is proper for you to work for mass or million, which there are actually a wider range of careers that you can dive into, but just because of your society didn't expose you to a lot of opportunities. So actually going to
I'll just do it. Keep my glass.
It's more like its stroke is very significant in its making.
No.
As I've said, each stroke is very significant because just a little stroke plays a very crucial role. So art making is really a process. You see, you are not objective, you are subjective to the artwork. So you pay attention to what it needs. And the rest is history.
So you spoke about the childhood, a person's childhood determining a person's future, right? Meaning that whatever you were told as a child will make you the person that you're going to be in the future, right?
Sure.
So like now as an individual, like looking back at the dots, don't you feel like the age, the mid-age, like around 20s, whatever, like just as you escape the being a teenager, is actually the age that you choose what type of person you want to be?
Blessed, right? Yeah, to answer your question, I think that my belief is that there's always like one needs to come into contact with a paradigm shift whereby you choose to define your own destiny, your destiny in a way you become an author or a writer of your own fate, but at the same time one needs to come into realization of being aware of becoming aware of all the things that actually has been stigmatized around the issues of you being a young man or these other period things, like, because the society would say that that's what is right for you being a man, but at the same time you are the one who has to come into contact with all these issues and deciding what you actually want to be. So it's actually personal. It's personal. But erasing all these patterns, it actually takes time. Because now, as I've said, the first stage is for you to be enlightened, to be aware, and also being introduced to other societal groups in which you feel like they speak the same language that you wanted to hear from your childhood, but you couldn't due to where you grew up under. And in that case, you get to, because now it's more like wherever you are tends to influence what you think. You understand? The people whom you associate with you. So if you need the paradigm shift, it's like it needs to be a state of change. You understand? So, for instance, if this young man, his influence was around social violence, then there are certain things that he needs to actually adjust to, and also to come into a standstill in realizing that all that I've been through is actually a falsified truth. So by realizing that, it's then one comes into a way of changing or revolutionizing himself. Because you can actually not change what you don't know. So knowledge is actually the key. So if you know what's wrong, you know how to sort it out. I'm not sure whether I've answered the question, but that's what I do. In most of my art pieces, I don't actually use my face. It's not a matter of me trying to communicate sort of an idea or being a second person speaking about someone else's life. I depict images that I think that they are more valid in terms of actually giving the viewer that sense of what I was feeling at that stage or that moment. It's more like I become a script writer and I have people who can act the scene. So the story around the person who experienced the actual events, it's not there, but we have actual characters that can actually. Yeah. São Paulo assim, a fonte. That's good. Yeah. It's not a Mama, pray for me. The sin was chasing me out here in the city. Mama, pray for me. There's demons chasing me out here in the city.
When I win, I will. Okay, what color do you need now? Okay, let's wait.